pretty sore arm and neck pain that went right up into her head. That started to hurt her head, and she was kind of concerned on the first one. Then the second one, no, I'm sorry, that was the second one. The first one was just the arm pain and stuff, and a little fever.
Fine for me. I think apparently the more you're affected, the better it's working. So
not necessarily. I don't think, because some people are so affected that they die. There's that, and then
that was the AstraZeneca, which was apparently related to some kind of DNA. Someone was telling me about that yesterday.
Well, any maladies with the vaccine would be related to DNA because it's actually modifying your DNA.
Well, the scare in Australia was AstraZeneca had a potential for killing people like over a certain age or under age.
Yeah.
Over age, I can't remember which one. But
I didn't know which one it was.
They identified what the issue was and corrected it. Now it seems to be fine. But I've never got Pfizer shots, so I just got another Pfizer shot.
And we got Moderna. But her third shot, the booster, was even. I mean, she was telling my mom's doctor, her mother's doctor, who's on a national pandemic response team. So when the Ebola thing came out and SARS came out, he was always on daily meetings with this whole national team of doctors that would respond and
that was
keep
a real
each other
scare
up to
for you
date.
guys, wasn't it? That Ebola thing.
I think it was. I wasn't too concerned because you figure if it gets really out of hand, everybody's just going to voluntarily stay home, right? But they seem to contain it pretty quickly. I think most people, when they get scared enough, they don't go outside. You don't have to say, "Hey, we're going to lock down the city."
Did it get to America at all? Because I know the outbreak was in Africa.
Yeah, we didn't have a whole lot of deaths before they got it shut down. They worked hard real fast. But it has a really much quicker turnaround and symptom time too. It's a horrible disease. But anyway, her second reaction, she's talking to her mom's doctor. He's my doctor also. And he's very up to date on all the stuff and the vaccines and the symptoms and everything. And he's looking at her like, really? And then she told him about his kind of concerned. And then she told him about the next one, which was the booster, which she said that felt like it was going up my neck and into my head. It just really hurt. And I felt terrible. And couldn't move my arm. And he was like, you don't take any more of these until you get testing. So he didn't want her to, if they have a fourth one or something like that, he said, I don't want you to take any more until we do more testing on that for you in particular. Because some people, I guess, aren't suitable for it very well.
That was one of the reasons why, like some of the people I know, I wouldn't call them friends, but some of the people I know who haven't taken it, are opposed to taking it, just feel like, I'm not saying I agree with them, I'm just saying they just feel like it's been, they don't know the full ramifications yet, blah, 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 blah. So they've got actual health concerns for it all. But look, for me, I had my shots as a kid. I had my shots going into the army. I'm having shots now because of COVID. I go to a doctor when I feel like there's something medically wrong. They tell me I need to take this. Well, why would I, why am I going to listen to some amateur on YouTube scaring me when my
some streamer on Twitch?
Yeah.
I think for me, like, I totally get why some people, if they're young mothers or they want to be mothers, and there's hasn't been any long-term, hey fish, come on over, any long-term research on infants and fetuses, which they normally require about for most other drugs or vaccinations. They require long-term studies for that kind of stuff before they approve them for very young kids or babies or fetuses, right? And those studies were not available because there hadn't been time. I don't know if they're available yet because it's going to take time. So I could understand where a potential parent would say, I'm young, I'm healthy, it's not likely going to kill me. It could possibly have some, ramifications. I'd just rather wait. I totally respect that. I think that's nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah. But I'm getting those neck pains now, But this is like the second, and it's always.
But they're
the
not
second
going up
day.
into your brain, head internally, right?
Oh, I feel like I've got a headache. Not a bad one, but a mild one.
Yeah.
And I just figured that it's kind of like what happened on the second one, where it's not like I was flu-y. Like I wasn't.
Right. I didn't have much trouble with it at all on either one of them. I mean,
that's good.
a sore arm, and then the second one I had a sore arm more, but after a day it went away pretty quickly. McFish, yeah, I know they've approved it for 5-year-olds, but there haven't. All I was saying is there haven't been any long-term fetal studies that I'm aware of that have come out that have made it, appear to be safe for developing fetuses. So I could understand a parent thinking I'm gonna maybe hold back a little bit on that if they're gonna be a parent or something.
It's good though that the kids can now take it, because I think one of the concerns for parents was having their kid. Well, I don't know what the States has been like, but in Australia, besides all the mixed messages coming from our federal government, there's been some real, one of the first outbreaks. Well, not first, but one of the earlier outbreaks was seen in schools.
I'm going to cancel so we can get McFish in.
We cancelled our schools, but I don't know. It's good that. Well, look. At least it gives the parents some confidence now about they can return their kids to school.
Yeah, I think it's much less dangerous for kids, obviously, but so that might be a question of should they? Yeah, statistically, it's much less. Well, no, we already know that it's much less lethal chances of lethality. There are some dangers of long-term effects from getting it for kids, and that's not good. But all the risks are much, much lower, and they just really go higher as you get up past even 60, right? 65, 70. Okay. But
that's
for me...
in our country, they got prioritized. The elderly got prioritized.
Yeah. For me, the idea is that, kids are going to transmit it and bring it home to grandparents or parents that might be high risk.
Yeah.
So even though the kids might just feel sick for a few days and have really light symptoms, or may not even know they have it, they could still bring it home. And so, I think as long as it's safe for kids, then great, get them vaccinated. But I think that should be a parental thing. But then that's a hard thing for, then they're at school. Okay, well, all the kids are at school, and so all the kids are gonna be or not be vaccinated. So suddenly it becomes
I don't know where I stand
a condition of it gets tough at that point. I think a little bit.
There's a mate of mine in South Australia who basically had to quit work because he is against vaccination, and so he won't do it. And then there's another mate of mine in Melbourne who has had one shot, and then on the app, he's got some background in programming on the government app where you link your documentation. He somehow said he got through the back end and just tricked it so that it's changed things. It says he's got 2, and I'm like, really? He goes, yeah, but don't tell anyone. Well, I've just told your entire 3 people watching it.
Yeah, it's going to spread like wildfire to the other 4 people that sometimes show up.
Yeah, that's right. So, but I don't know, I respect someone's view of not doing it for health reasons, if they've got genuine health concerns about it all. But I'm not sure I'm really not down with the conspiracy theorist side of these arguments.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I took it, right? I was happy to take it, and I don't have any problem with that. I realize that there is a risk for any vaccine, but the risks are very minuscule. And so my risk being I'm not grossly overweight, but I'm certainly overweight. And my age bracket, I definitely would have much higher risk of dying from COVID than from the vaccine, right? From the testing they had already done. So for me, it's a no-brainer. Well, no-brainer. There you go. It's right at my bailiwick right there.
Well,
Fish, I gave you an invite.
Dad, today, I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. But then they're keeping him again overnight. So it's okay. And I'm just hoping I don't get worse tomorrow.
Yeah, what'd they say? They said they kept him last night, and what?
So they've got it. So he had too much liquid in his body, and then they discovered a cyst in his liver, and they're not actually concerned about it being cancerous. They're concerned about it having liquid around it or something. I don't know. I don't quite understand it. So now, but Dad's got a real problem with taking some of their tests where he has to lie down because he can't breathe in the machines they've got him going through. He's lying down. So he gets really anxious about it. Anyway, he finally did the last one today, which I thought was yesterday. This is a whole other one now. And he was meant to get released. I was meant to pick him up now, but he's kind of said, no, they're going to keep me because they'd like to get to the results. So it'll be tomorrow probably.
Wow. And there's another $10,000 gone, right? But you've got insurance, right? For you have national healthcare. No. Yeah, so you're fine.
Publix. There's no. He doesn't. So he's a pensioner. I mean, I know this is going to sound foreign to some of you Americans, but
he's a what?
He's a pensioner.
Okay, so hang on one second. McFish, I gave you a couple invites, and we're waiting. Are you coming, or should we drop until you get here? Go ahead.
So all medical is free.
Yeah.
Unless it's an optional surgery, like
cosmetic or open heart surgery.
I mean, you don't get the luxury of a private room in a private hospital. You're in public rooms.
How many people are in one room?
4.
Well,
but they've got them cordoned off quite nicely. They're not
that's common here. You get 2 in a room here anyway, and you're paying. You can pay for a single room, but it's crazy.
Well, if you're insured, you get the option of a private hospital with the private rooms, but you're obviously paying whatever premiums you're paying. That kind of stuff. Because we're not quite. We do have a private system as well, and I think we kind of leaned into what you guys do over there, but it's not nearly like it is over there, where you are.
Our health costs have gone rapidly out of into insane prices. Some people can't, as I understand it, some people can't afford to be sick. No. Well, you can always go in and say I don't have any insurance, and they have to do something, but they'll try to do as little as possible and get you out of there.
That just sounds, I mean, I don't know.
But I've got a friend that, he had insurance.
Do you get debt collectors, do you, McFish?
We do have debt collectors. They harass you forever.
Medical?
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
A lot of times you can go to the hospital and you can say, I've got, $20,000 to my name and a house. And you can't take my house legally. They can't come after your house. And I don't have, this is my income. That's just enough for me to live off of. I could give you my $20,000 and call it good. And some hospitals will say, okay. But you got to go and talk to them, right? A lot of people don't ever do that, but they'd rather get the 20 than spend 2 years getting nothing and paying the debt collector cut that they got to pay for and stuff like that. But this guy, he was a friend of my dad's and a friend of our family, and he had a heart attack one day, and he was retired. And I think I mentioned this once, and ambulance came and picked him up, and he was kind of in and out and middle of a heart attack, and they made him sign this so we can, work on you. And he signed it, and he woke up 3 days later with a triple or quadruple bypass heart surgery and blah, 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 and $250,000 in debt.
I mean, that contract can't be legal because it's signed under duress.
It's a signed under duress, sure.
And they don't. That's still.
I'm sure and there's no way for him to pay that back, so I'm sure they didn't get it, right? So it's a mess, no matter what.
To answer the phone for the rest of his life, it's always
right,
going to be a debt collector every day.
Yeah.
He'll never be able to buy another house, so he may have trouble buying cars.
Well, and he married wives that each took him for everything he was worth. He had married 3 different women, and they were all smarter than him when it came to who was going to get what. They basically took everything he had each time. It was like, oh my gosh. And it wasn't like it was just, whether or not people make it in marriage or not, you don't always know, right? But you'd think if he's been burnt twice, by the third time he would have been a little more careful.
What do Americans genuinely think of their system?
Oh, most of us are
the
mad
best.
about it. Well,
America's
people.
the best.
America's the
Oh
best.
no, I get.
But
I get
even
you love your country, but how do you kind of?
well,
To me, that just seems kind of barbaric.
We make up lies about everybody else to pretend that we're better. Basically.
or we really do think, well, there is some exceptional things about American healthcare, but it doesn't matter because most of us can't afford that, and we're not going to necessarily get that.
So how do you go? Like, how do you just put up with that? Like,
I think it's hard to change. There's so much big money invested in it.
I
It's really
once
hard
had a
thing
discussion
to
with
reform.
someone from Google.
Hey, Miss BNR.
My friend Nat worked in risk. Well, she was the head of risk for Asia and Oceanic Google, and she had a retreat in Tassie with a whole lot of people that came out from the States. Well, a whole lot of people, as there was 5 other people. I remember having this discussion, and it's like, I mean, the people who are suffering the most from these kinds of structures seem kind of like defeated that they can't do anything, but you guys are the majority. Like, the ones who are having to live with these structures are the majority. And
it's not just those people though. Like Jennifer and I, we're on Oregon health plans, so we're on government assisted healthcare because my income level is below the poverty level or just at, right? So we actually qualify and get free healthcare.
So that satisfies you.
We used to pay for it ourselves, and we were able to pay for it. Even though we were really poor, we could pay for it. But what happened to us, and I know this happened to some other people, I don't know how widespread it was, but when they forced everybody to go to a what do you call it now, where everybody has to have healthcare, and you have to have, if you don't, you have to start paying tax fines, right? Hang on, I want to get this guy. When Obama signed in Obamacare, our health insurance, the moment it got signed, went up nearly double, even though we got no different in benefits. But the companies were raising their rates so that they could position themselves for when the law came into effect, right? Then just before the law actually came into effect, it went up again. So when before we were paying $170 for a family of 5, we were suddenly paying, within 2 years, we were paying $465 for less insurance, with a $10,000 deductible instead of a $250 deductible per person. So like if we got into an accident or something, we'd lose everything, right? And that happened before the Obamacare stuff came in. And then at that point, we couldn't afford to pay for our health insurance anymore because of that. And then, so we applied for Oregon Health Plan, and we got on because our income was low. So then it was covered. But I'll tell you this, the first thing we lost was the doctor we were promised we could keep. So I lost my doctor instantly. I lost my dentist. And I finally got to a different dental place, and it took 6 months to get in. It took a year to get a crown that I had to pay for anyway. It took a year to get almost anything done over and over and over again, and it was less quality care. And I stopped going to see the doctor. Now I've finally found a doctor again. I found one that wasn't any good, and found one that I didn't like, and finally found one that I like. But then COVID hit, so I can say that I think some Americans are afraid that they'll get substandard care, and we certainly did. But I don't, because a lot of the doctors that you used to go to won't take Oregon Health Plan. So if we went to a national health plan, maybe that would fit, so that everybody was on it and doctors didn't have a choice of taking it or not. Maybe that would sort itself out. And as a conservative Christian Republican, I'm all okay with national health care, but we got to do it better than we've been doing it so far. It's just a mess.
Yeah.
as somebody who has never had insurance, unless it's a job that I've been in, I can tell you it is extremely difficult going to the doctor for the things that you need when you don't have insurance.
Yeah, you can't afford to. I mean, it's like, $250 to say hello.
And you sit in the waiting room, at least here in New York anyway, you sit in the waiting room. If you don't make an appointment beforehand and you don't have a regular doctor and say, like, you roll your ankle like I did a couple months ago, you sit in the waiting room for like 3 hours just to be seen. And then you get a boot that they don't tell you whether or not you have to return it. So I mean,
they just want to meet you and charge you, but they won't even really do anything yet. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, and they don't tell you if you have to return the boot that they give you, if they give you one right from the hospital itself or anything like that. I mean, that's not something that I would naturally assume I would have to or anything, because like, it's not like you have to return medicine when you're done with it. It's usually gone. But I mean that. But they make you pay for that too if you don't return it. So it's like, what are you supposed to do with that? But then again, if you do have a regular doctor, you better hope you don't have to move.
Yeah, so it's hardly perfect, and a lot of people are mad about it, and rightfully so, I think.
I knew a gal when that was first introduced that didn't meet the low income requirements and didn't make enough to be able to pay for healthcare, so she was lost in the
between,
middle.
Right,
and so she didn't have health insurance even though it was supposed to be mandatory,
right, and couldn't get it,
and then had to pay for it in her taxes because she couldn't prove, well, because she didn't have healthcare. I lucked out, and I managed to get on state healthcare when it was introduced, and then when I moved to my current job, my healthcare is 100% paid for by my work. So
it's all about being in a job that gives you coverage, or being in a certain threshold that gives you.
Some of them offer like discounts on certain things, or some of them have like on-the-job coverage, but beyond that, once you leave the job for the day, you're no longer under their coverage.
And if I said to you like universal health care, like, do you guys get scared off by that concept, or
not at all?
Oh,
some people do.
If the government manages things.
Some people do because of those reasons.
There's a mistrust. Is there a mistrust that they would?
Oh, I think it's not a mistrust that they would. I don't think so. Just from that, as a person who's for national health care, as a Republican, my fear is not that they will mismanage it. I'm pretty sure they will. The question is, will they mismanage it more than it's being mismanaged already? Probably not. So I'm okay with it. I figure it's like,
what is mismanagement?
It's mismanaged in the sense that profit is
death panels.
Oh yeah, they're afraid of death panels and things like that.
Okay.
Or right now, though, we're like McFish, you already said down there, you'll go to an ER and you'll wait 6 hours. Like
wait times. So there's
wait times, and it's not just hours; it's months often to get things done. Like I said, just for like a tooth that's rotting, you might end up waiting so long that they just pull the tooth rather than saving it and fixing it in the first place, which they could have done.
But those that
Tuesday.
can't afford it don't even get that done. Is that actually what happens? Or
well,
a lot of those.
They don't probably go do it. But I mean, I would have paid money that I didn't have to get my tooth fixed sooner because it hurt, but I couldn't get in. They wouldn't see me for a year.
And that's your system anyway. Like, you waited for a year.
But that's government health care.
That's how it stands right now.
Yeah, and
so
and
you
it's
guys
not
are comparing
so
the dysfunction of government health care now as its current under founding China compete with a private system as a reason not to have or not to head towards universal.
Not just that, but yes, that's certainly in the mix for some people, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Republican Party voted
and the Republican Party
repeal
is really
Obamacare
against it
60 times.
What's that, Fish?
And
They voted to repeal it 60 times.
Oh my God. Yeah, I didn't even...
So you're in favour of a universal healthcare or a movement towards universal healthcare, McFish?
I think it works for most developed countries. I don't know why it wouldn't for ours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
I
hope
can tell
that
you
it
exactly
doesn't.
why it wouldn't work for our country, and it has nothing to do with how good or bad of an idea it is. It's because our government can't even agree on it or on anything already.
Right.
Yeah, we have a
and
problem
so,
with tax right now.
But don't
And-
you have like a fire? Oh, sorry, Lonely. I know you're trying to get something else.
So I'm afraid that it'll end up being like our current veteran healthcare system,
Which is
You
not
spend-
good. It's an embarrassment.
which is even worse than private healthcare right now. It's an absolute, like he said, it's an absolute embarrassment. People sit waiting to get almost life-saving procedures for years, but their paper gets lost, and so it's delayed even more, and it's just bureaucracy and just
Can I check in with you about that? So is that because you know real veterans that have experienced that, or is that because of the rhetoric you get told?
No, it's real. Like I have friends that live here in town and they can't go get health care here in town. They have to drive 2 hours to Portland to get health care.
And these are veterans under a
These are
veteran
veterans,
system,
right?
And
Right.
Lonely,
Right.
what about you?
And-
Is that because of real experiences as of people you know, or because of a rhetoric?
it's not personal experiences, it's experiences of friends and former high school classmates.
No, it's not okay. So none of us here in this particular chat are veterans of the United States military, but we
I
know of
am.
you, and yeah.
Ronan is.
Oh, I didn't know that. However, the point I'm trying to make is we wouldn't know what is or is not true based off of what our friends say. We would like to believe them, but we have no way to really prove that.
I believe my friends because they lived right behind me and
We
I
believe them
watched
because
them
they're our friends.
drive away to go to Portland.
So I play with a guy on
Old
a game
C4,
called
they're rotating away.
Project Zomboid recently. He's a guy who's in PX, which is a Mechwarrior line unit, and he's an American. He got injured in the line of duty and is now set up. They're paying him to study. He's doing a psych degree. They're paying.
That's the GI Bill.
Yeah, that's right.
And,
the GI Bill.
he's getting his retirement money.
Yeah, and he's getting. It seems like a really he's getting something. I think he suggested to me that he was getting. I think he said something like 20,000. I think this is way too much, but I'd have to check in with him. But it just seemed like a lot a month. Like
So-
Not
his
getting
house
20,000 a
paid.
month
But
on the
with-
GI Bill.
With the GI Bill, you get the government pays the school monthly or quarterly, depending on how the
And
school
pays you to go
bill.
to school as well. And pays you to go to school. That's what he's taking. He's getting paid for his education, paid to go to school, and he's also. He said he got his house paid as well somehow. I don't understand how that'll happen.
Because he's making enough money doing what he's doing right now to pay off his house.
Right.
And there may have also been
You kind of cut off
just
the
like
last part there.
a bonus because he got injured and they had to release him early, but he may have gotten a severance package for that.
But that is different to what we're talking about in terms of just normal health coverage as a
Right.
veteran.
So as a veteran, if you're on veteran healthcare, you can only go to a Department of Veterans Affairs approved clinic. So that means, like, for what Dark was saying, anybody who's living in Eugene has to drive all the way to Portland. I would get lucky because I live right across the river from Portland, but people on the other side of the state in Washington have to drive all the way from like Spokane to Seattle. It's a 7-hour drive.
And in the winter, it might not be drivable.
Right.
Watch your back, Blackjack. There's one coming around.
And the quality of care you're going to get when you get there is substandard also.
Right. It's, from what I understand from people that I've talked to when I was living in Spokane and people I've talked to here, it's like nobody cares about you as a person. You're just somebody there that they have to deal with and then move on to the next person.
Okay.
acquired.
It's just like there's a lot of different systems you guys have to fit yourselves into.
Well, it's not just the systems; it's also the level of
The quality of people.
by the people who are performing the jobs.
Right.
Yeah, their training and expertise and stuff. You're not
More
getting
than that,
top
it's
brain
just-
surgeons available to veterans.
You can have somebody who's got who's got lots of degrees and pieces of paper telling you all the qualifications and stuff like that, but if their bedside manner sucks, guess what?
Or if they're just not very good at their job, but they still pass.
Green Charlie 3.
Right.
Right.
No.
Just because they have that piece of paper doesn't mean that they did well.
It's kind of like I'm hero of the inner sphere, but look how I play.
Why did we
Same
go
thing.
down into that valley again?
Target spotted. Target spotted.
It's like, okay, I can't say what I was gonna say because I actually do know people who are in like vocational schooling to be a mechanic,
Target
and the
spotted.
stuff that they're actually
Acquired.
the stuff that people are learning in
Oh, he got
vocational
me.
schools to
Wow.
actually be a mechanic is not the same stuff that like my grandfather learned when he ran a speed shop 20 some years ago. It's totally
New target
different. My grandfather
acquired.
learned how to turn a wrench and how to do all that stuff
Target
manually.
spotted.
In school or in a
New
vocational
target
schools and stuff like that, they're going through
acquired.
textbooks and
Incoming missile.
PowerPoint presentations and
Data
videos and
suspect.
stuff like that, and learning the same stuff but through a different way. And
New
they're expected to
target
perform the
acquired.
same jobs
Target
without any
spotted.
actual bench time.
So they're undertrained.
Right.
Incoming.
Well,
very
they don't-
little bench time.
They have a lot of knowledge, but they don't have any practical experience.
Target
Yeah.
spotted.
And whereas my grandfather, all he had to
Acquired.
teach him was practical experience. So
Target destroyed. New target acquired.
So it's a messy problem, and
Incoming missile.
most Americans that know what's going on are
And
embarrassed.
they're very
by it.
divided,
That-
and the problem is dividing a lot of people's opinions so that you can never really come together and say enough's enough. This is
Yeah.
shit.
I mean, it seems to me
That's-
that one of the best things we could do would be to make Medicare and military, veteran care something that everybody looks at and goes, "Oh, I want that," and then people would say, "Well, let's all do that then." But right now, it's like this is what is being dangled in front of people as a government health plan, and so you can understand why some people are scared by it.
I only did that much damage. That's crap.
So it seems to me the smartest thing we could do would be to fix those and make them desirable so people would be more open to it. But even then, as a conservative Republican, I'm still open to it. I just want them to do it smartly, and so far I haven't been real impressed.
Well, you can't.
But the alternative's
public
not
system
good
can't
either.
compete with a private system that's already got it its way. Like you can't expect to measure. Think about like your fire service. Well, actually, I don't really
Yeah.
know. I don't know what the American system is like.
We just let things burn. Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
No, we have public fire and public police and public water.
And that works or it doesn't work?
Yeah. Yeah.
It does work. However,
Generally-
some of them are volunteers, and some
Yeah.
of them are paid by the city too. So there's
Yeah,
different systems even within that.
Smaller cities have volunteer fire departments, and
But that's
Yeah.
what you're looking at, and I don't know how you. I can see now why it's so messy to have this discussion because, on one hand, look, there's just so many options.
who am I giving an
and
invite
you're all
to?
vulnerable.
Ronan, were you here
You're
first?
You're all kind of vulnerable. On the other hand, it's like you can't
I don't know.
compare
He's
a
actually
public
probably
system
in the game, so yes.
the
probably
way it
him.
is.
Yes, I'm in a match at the moment, but
The nerve.
Oh,
I'm happy. I just got a kill with my Uziel.
that's good, Panzer. I like the.
I think part of the problem also, Drax, is that we allow hospitals to charge $30 for one aspirin.
$30.
$30.
It's not even that. It's for me. Even for me with my healthcare being paid for, it's still $35 just to show up for the doctor.
Yeah.
If I have an ER visit, it's $100 on the spot. That's not even counting any medications or equipment or whatever that I might need.
And you have some care, right? So that's your deductible.
So, like here, if you need to see your GP, which is your local doctor, who then would, if something serious, would then refer you on to something, that's all free. Like visiting, I mean, and you can choose not to use that system. You can choose to go to a doctor who charges, but they've usually, most doctors have what we call Medicare, which is the public system option as well, and you just need a Medicare card, which everyone's can get one. But some people, have money and they'll pay for their doctor, which is some kind of better service, I suppose, because they've luxurious waiting rooms and all that nonsense. But I mean, my doctor's fantastic. I don't mind.
Yeah.
But then the referral process is something that I noticed that I do pay. It's when I do start to pay for. So, and again, you've got like pensioners who don't. You've got people who are at a certain poverty level, so they won't, as far as I understand it. But for example, for me, I would have to pay a referral fee to see a specialist, and then when it comes to an operation, if the operation's covered, it's covered. I don't have to pay a cent for nothing.
Yeah.
If it's an optional surgery, like a plastic surgery or something like that, then I would. And it seems to be the most expensive cost isn't actually the surgeon, it's the bloody anaesthetist. They charge like
right.
Like,
who has
crazy.
very little liability. Another problem is that the talking point, the fear that's put out there is, like McFish mentioned, death panels. Who decides what people get what care, and if they're not likely to survive, maybe they'll get denied the care, right? Which has happened, I think, to some extent a little bit, but we're getting that now already. We're getting that already now with insurance companies telling doctors which things they'll pay for. So doctors have to either lie and say they're doing a certain test because of a different reason.
You can't point to a group, right? Like, it's not active; it's a passive thing, i.e., affordability, coverage. As opposed to
it's
an
being
actual group of people.
It's being used by the insurance companies. They're saying, I will only pay for a
this
tooth
test,
removal,
not that test,
but I won't pay for to actually fix the tooth.
Right.
So
it's cheaper
instead of going in and getting, say, I don't know, a thyroidectomy, going in to look at getting a thyroidectomy, and the insurance comes back and says, no, I'm not going to do that for you, and you really needed that, and the insurance company denied it. It's
you're rationing healthcare because of money, just like if the government was rationing healthcare because of money.
It's the same thing that like Washington State's trying to do with firearms ownership. They're increasing the cost of the gateway, basically. So you have to have, or California is really bad about this. You have to have a permit, you have to have a license, you have to go through a class before you can even think about going and buying a firearm. And insurance companies are basically doing the same thing with our healthcare.
Yeah, like McFish is saying in chat, or you're old, you're too old or too fat, so why should we spend dollars fixing your condition? You're a loss of humanity. So basically, insurance companies or government pick your poison, are going to determine people's worth and what they'll pay to help them. And people are afraid of that. And I don't think they realize how much of it happens already. Like, if Republicans realized how much of that happened already, they wouldn't probably like that.
But don't they know, because they're living in America and they experience whatever the system is, or they?
Well, the people who make the laws and fight for the laws are typically politicians who make plenty of money and they don't care, and they're on their own health care plan. If you're part of the House or the Senate, they get their own special health care that's great.
Right.
There's also this strange dichotomy between reality and how it's talked about in the politics.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, people.
I'm serious. They'll tell you we have the absolute best,
but it's not available to everybody.
That's because that's because the senators and the representatives aren't. The laws don't apply to them when it comes to stuff like healthcare or anything like that.
Or investing.
They have their own little even then. And,
insider training's fine for them.
So they make all these rules and laws and stuff that they have no intention of following in the first place. That just does things to line their pockets or put them in a better position, get them reelected or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, it's frustrating.
People say a lot of things to get reelected, but the question is, do they actually follow through or not? And more often than not, it is a no. They do not follow through.
Well,
and sometimes they can't.
Very difficult to do.
Right?
Like
Yeah.
what's stacked up against them may make it just like they can't. They don't
Yeah.
have them.
Yeah, but they'll say whatever.
And
they
sometimes
want.
they won't have no intention of it. That's what ticks me off. It's when they don't really even have any intention of doing it.
Yeah.
Need assistance.
When you can see what they all are.
Yeah, they
put
put the blinders on and act like everything's fine, even though it isn't. Clearly, because if it was fine, there wouldn't be people complaining about it.
Somebody's firing a
Also
big gun.
For those of us who, for the two people who are in chat, welcome to Dark's Nightly. What will we talk about
What will
tonight?
we talk about tonight?
Had to go AFK or something.
Let's talk about the new map. What is everybody's opinion of it?
I only
love
got
it.
on it once.
Love it.
DC'd.
I've seen it a couple of times. I like
I
the
shut down right there. That was
the
not good.
maze-like verticality of it too.
Oh yeah, it's
a lot of fun.
It's got a lot of verticality to it. It's so many different ways to flank and get
Contact
behind
Delta
your
5
opponents.
on flank.
It's insane.
Target spotted.
I
Guys, you can
played
see
it
what they
in
are.
a.
They're not. You could push up and over and get into.
So I played it in a blackjack and just stayed on the high ground and shot at people, and then I played it again on a hellspawn later and used all the maze-like portions of it to hide and shoot people in the back as they walked by. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think it definitely favors more mobile mechs.
It does, yes. Hello?
Target
See
spotted.
this bushwhacker is coming at me. Come on.
Apologies if you can hear the cat yowling in the background. He likes to stand at the top of the stairs and yowl down them. And you know how,
Come on, get
how
on, get
stairwells
on.
act for loud noises.
I don't mind cats.
I don't mind cats either, but this cat sits at the top of the stairs and just begs to be let out.
Like Delta 5.
It's wintertime. We've got like 12 inches of
Here you
snow
go, out
here.
the open.
We're not letting him out.
Well,
No.
they got me. Never mind.
He'll be gone for like 3 weeks.
What is your
Yeah,
chat saying?
this sounds like my cats when they're in heat. Up and down the hallways just yowling.
Well, there's that too, because we have three kittens who have been
Target
here
spotted.
for
Need
like 2
assistance.
months now, and they're actually getting pretty sizable. I mean, I have one on my lap who before, or when they were born, was the size of my palm, and now takes up my entire lap. So they're actually growing, but they're all female. So that's a thing.
Fun. Yeah, both of my cats are female too.
Need assistance.
Artillery strike online.
2 lights are going. Charlie.
How can
4.
people afford that, McFish? That's insane.
Wait, what?
You
I'm
linked
not
a
reading
new
chat.
leukemia drug will cost almost $500,000. The cost of cancer care now averages
Sick. Can't
100,000.
afford that.
Oh, is that along the same veins as the guy that
McFish, you're gonna have 2 lights on. Left,
27.
he had the rights to EpiPen and
Let's say Mitch is over here.
increased the price per pen to
Executioner
like
Delta.
$400 because he could,
Target spotted.
because he had the sole rights to the EpiPen.
Oh, let's see, you guys push and we won. Well done. Yeah, it's and there was another guy, wasn't there? Like an AIDS drug or something. I remember back in the early 2000s, wasn't it? They made a
Well,
Netflix movie out of him.
We haven't had any FDA-approved AIDS medication here in the States yet.
Oh, really?
There was something. There was something.
I
that
don't
he
think
had.
because most people have to go to another country to get a good treatment because here they just treat it. They don't try to cure it.
Oh,
Need assistance.
I want to help you. Just hang out another. There you go.
good work, guys. Thanks for the drop.
Did you?
Got him.
And so
Farmer Bro. I think that's what it's called. Farmer Bro.
this is what my healthcare is. And I don't know what it pertains to as far as everybody else goes, but my health care is to take care of anything I possibly can at home. I do as much research as I can to deal with any problem I have at home so that I don't have to go to the hospital and sit there for 3 hours waiting to be seen.
I think that's pretty common that a lot of people use Google as their doctor, first line doctor. I honestly do.
Yeah. I got dinner, guys. I have to drop. Thank you very
All
much.
right.
I'm sorry I stirred up a hornet's
Oh,
nest.
before you go, I just wanted to maybe publicly shame Miss BNR for making that comment about that mech last night. What was the mech she was talking about?
I mean, now you're putting me in shit. I mean, come on, man. Miss BNR, all I did was read back the message which probably makes me a dobber. You've aired the fact that I'm a dobber.
What was the mech?
Can you tell us what a dauber is?
I was gonna say.
Someone who tells on a tattletale. I think you guys call it
A tattletale?
Okay.
Oh, dauber.
Was Dark so offended by my executioner comment that he had to end the stream?
I can't believe you even mentioned an executioner on my stream, Miss BNR. I'm glad
I said, yes, nah, I think he lost internet. And you're like, sure, makes excuses for him. So, I mean, you read that as you will. Once again, I'm going to be made out to be the bad guy in this conversation.
Well, you were the dauber, not me. So that's all I can say. Yeah, he just can't really be trusted.
You didn't have to air it, and you didn't have to get offended, and nor were you offended. Miss BR is playing a victim here when she's playing the victim then. And now, I had enough of you Americans. Jesus.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, I resemble that remark.
Yeah, I resemble that remark.
We have a politician who blamed California wildfires on real Jewish space lasers. This
What?
is real.
What?
She's in office.
What?
She's in office?
Well,
She's
can I,
an
can I
elected
just-
official.
Can I have her name? I'm going to have to tell.
Her name is Marjorie Taylor Greene.
I'm going to have to tell Israeli intelligence as a Jew, and she'll be taken care of, no problem. And those lasers will continue.
Well, first of all, I want to know how I can get in control of some Jewish space lasers. Like, can I hack in and get control of them?
You want Jewish space, like, so
I
the
want
lasers
them.
converted to Judaism and believe in a Jewish God.
No, I mean
Yahweh. Is that what you're saying?
they must have been funded by and launched by some Jewish, secret society, and so there must be launch or control codes somewhere, and I want to be able to hack and get those. I want control.
Well, why would we give you control?
Why wouldn't you?
He's taking control.
I'm not asking you.
Control.
I'm not asking you, Drax, to give me control. I'm going to take control.
As a middle-aged, overweight man living in the middle of somewhere.
Do you have to bring up my weight on my own stream for everybody? Thanks a lot, Drax.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I'm
Oh
repeating
my
what
gosh.
you said earlier.
I'm being fat shamed on my own stream by who I thought was my friend.
Because of gerrymandering in American politics, all you have to win is the party that you're being elected for, not the majority of people at large. So you just go as far into that party's craziness as you want to, because all you have to do is convince the people in your party.
When you say the people at large, do you really mean the large people?
Yes,
We are large people too.
Yeah, there are large people.
I'm going before I shame myself and bring discredit to my unit anymore.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Come again. So, Panzer, do you want to come in here? There's a slot now.
Nah, I'm just hanging out before I go to bed.
All right. Miss BNR, would you like to join us, by the way?
He's not in game. Franken Mittens is playing, but he's elsewhere.
I
Although
know.
he is watching the
You're already in
stream
bed, that's totally fine.
where he was.
Oh my gosh.
Yep, I'm yawning too much, and the kitten on my lap who's sleeping has decided that it's bedtime. So
I went and did we're totally changing, or I'm totally changing the subject now. I went and did a mic shootout today with these mics that I've been talking about. Went to a friend's studio, and he has a pair of Avalon Audio. They're made in Switzerland, I think. Condenser
for
microphones. Hellborn?
Hellbore. Yeah.
Oh, that's the new one, right? Okay.
Yep.
yeah,
And I brought this Colaris, which is a $1,600 mic, and I brought this Erland which is a $1,700 or $1,800 mic. I brought this mic that I'm on here right now, which is actually only about a $400 mic. And we set them up, and Jessica sang into them, and I did some singing into them and some voiceover stuff, and then we have 4 tracks of each of them, and now I can put compressors and EQ on them and stuff and feel kind of how they mix in to things. But it was really interesting to hear how these different higher end mics performed on different voices, and in particular on Jessica's, because I thought I would like the Colaris one, which is modeled after a vintage $10,000 or $20,000 if you can get an original in good shape Telefunken 251 vocal mic, and it's got kind of a little bit of distortion that warms up the tone just slightly. And I thought, well, that would be really cool on Jessica's voice. It would sound probably really nice, and it gives it just this little bit of interest on top. But it turns out that neither myself or my friend, who's been a recording engineer for 30 years, liked that one as much as his Avalon Audio one or the other Erland one. The Erland one actually sounded better than all the others, and noticeably so, without any EQ or any compression or effects or anything. So I'm going to send the Colaris one back probably. I'm going to play with the files tomorrow and stuff. But you wouldn't expect, I guess you could certainly expect a noticeable difference between higher end mics, because they all have their own kind of coloration, or it's kind of like looking through a pair of Ray-Bans or a pair of, what's another really popular sunglass, Aviators or something like that, and polarized or non-polarized. They all add their own little thing. But there was a pretty big difference, and it was kind of fun to hear that. And this little baby actually did pretty well, even in the mix of mics that were costing 3 times, 4 times as much. Wasn't quite as nice, but it was certainly serviceable.
I don't know anything about high-end condenser mics or mics for music or anything like that, but I do know that for like tech stuff and for streaming purposes and stuff like that, a lot of mics that are around the I'd say $100 to $150 range are like they have a similar thing in the sense that like different ones from different brands boast different properties that differentiate themselves from everyone else, and some sound cleaner and some don't.
Yeah,
like the
and noticeably so.
One mic, the Elgato Wave 1 mic is the one that a lot of people are actually turning to be like, this is the one that if you want a really crisp, clean sound, this is the one you want to get for that kind of price range. Because if you use this one versus the what's the Blue Yeti that everybody
I just don't like the Yetis at all.
Yeah. That's my point. If you actually compare them side by side, the Elgato Wave 1 has a lot cleaner sound. It has a lot more features in terms of the software and stuff like that comes with it. It's a USB mic, so you're kind of limited there, but at the same time, it's just a lot more user-friendly and also just a better product overall. Yeah,
which is funny because it's coming from a company that's not known for making mics, but they've paid attention and picked a good capsule and put good electronics in it and had people who knew what they were doing, make it sound pretty decent. I haven't heard that one myself yet, but I was aware they had started making it. I mean, I haven't had one in my hand. I saw a review of it and stuff.
A guy I watch on YouTube was doing studies on them and stuff like that. Obviously, I'm not in a position right now to be able to afford a brand new mic. Otherwise, I would have an Elgato Wave 1 on my desk, and I would not be using this janky-ass headset that I got. Pardon my French. Anyway.
Yeah, please don't say janky on my stream again.
Yes. But yeah, I obviously don't have the money to do stuff like that, but I am very much a fan of paying attention to what's out there before I go and spend the money. So
see, I would normally recommend there's a mic called the oh darn it, they just saw me before I could focus on them. I would recommend the Samsung Meteor mic. It's a great little studio condenser, small, sounds great, but it doesn't have the software that the little Elgato mic's going to have that provides some other features. But it doesn't use system overhead either. right? Whereas the Elgato is going to take some CPU cycles away to provide some of that functionality.
Yeah. I think, yeah, but my point was more along the lines of the fact that when I'm searching through tech stuff, like there's a reason behind what I'm searching and why. Because like my computer right now, I mean, I spent $1,400 on this computer, and the reason I spent $1,400 on it is because it came with a screen, which is a 27-inch curved monitor with all the bells and whistles. It came with a keyboard.
Wait, you have bells and whistles on your monitor? That's not fair.
It came with a keyboard. It came with a mouse. It came with all that. It came with a 1650 graphics card, and so on and so forth. So I mean, it's not a terrible computer. It's a low to mid-range computer. The computer itself costs about $950, and the extra came from the monitor that came with it, and so on and so forth. But I know right off the bat that this computer is not going to be the end-all be-all computer for me. I am going to be getting another rig. Not soon, but fairly soon. I want to wait until Windows 11 has had a little bit more time to, be researched and get all the bugs straightened around before I upgrade again. But also, I want to do a lot of research before I even think about buying a new computer, because I want to make sure that what I'm getting isn't going to break in the next 10 years and is actually going to be useful for the things I'm using.
Also, critical damage. Heat level critical.
So I do a lot of research on YouTube and on a lot of tech sites and stuff like that for the specific components that I'm looking for and looking at.
Yeah.
And the USB mics that I was just talking about, around the $100 to $150 range, are stuff that I was looking at because
it's a big canyon there.
I stream, so
yeah, I would like to check that out for. I mean, Jessica's got one of my studio condensers, so she doesn't really need one of those mics. But for a lot of people, they're going to sound better than most of the little boom mics you get on a headset, right?
Yeah.
And markedly so, typically.
Oh yeah, and it's the same thing with cameras, webcams, and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. There's so many lousy webcams.
Yeah, a lot of times now you can get a better picture and a smoother recording from your smartphone than you could from the majority of the cameras.
Yeah, you're just gonna have more lag time, so syncing it up is gonna be tougher.
But I mean, if you're really like scraping the bottom of the barrel in terms of what you have to work with, you could use your smartphone as a webcam. I
use it as a secondary camera a lot of times. I haven't used it recently, but definitely works great for that. And it's a better quality picture, like you're saying. And there's really no reason why webcams have been so stagnant, because the sensors have gotten better and better for 10 years, right? They're only 10 years behind.
Most people who can't afford a lot of the new higher-end webcams now have just taken to going to used GoPros, which, I mean, it works, but... Yeah,
I don't really like GoPros so much, but yes, they do. But I'm not considering them as webcams, so they work way better as a webcam than a lot of webcams. I just think of them as cameras, right, for video and stuff like that.
Yeah. So naturally, I've been searching stuff like that. I've been searching different headsets that may or may not necessarily have a mic built into them. I don't really like using the mic that is on whatever headset I'm using for streaming. Especially the mic that's on this particular headset. I mean, it's loud enough for you guys at the moment, but
yeah,
I've had problems
and it doesn't
with
sound terrible. I've got this Logitech C930 headset, and it's actually decent, and the mic's actually decent on it, but the battery doesn't work very long, and then it goes dead after a year or two, and you got to replace it, and then that goes dead, and it's always, futzing and doesn't keep a solid connection, so you end up using it wired all the time. And so at that point, I just said, heck with it, I'll just set up a good mic.
A lot of times, when you deal with wireless headsets, they have a limited range that they can get from the receiver.
This is why I prefer wired headsets. I currently have a HyperX, or not HyperX, it's a Corsair HyperX Cloud.
I was just
on
about
my
to get one of those
desktop.
for Jessica.
They are super nice. They're comfortable. I can wear them for hours on end. And the microphone, I don't know if you guys have noticed, I'm using a cruddy little headset right now because I'm on my laptop. But the sound is really good.
Yeah.
And
When it
the
comes
mic
to
quality
headsets-
seems to be pretty good.
It is pretty good. I almost got her one. I was ready to click it, and I did a little more searching, and I bought her a Dynamic 770 Pro instead because she plays Hunt. The devs run those headphones when they're tweaking the game, and they're great sounding headphones, and she can use them for music production too because they're just a whole nother step above, you know.
Yeah.
And she's already got a mic, a professional level mic, and she's already got a digital audio to analog converter interface. So she doesn't necessarily need to go with a headset with a mic. But that's a good set from what I've seen.
The problem I have with headsets is I have a very specific set of requirements that I need for a headset that I'm actually going to be using. Number one, it can't have like one of those solid plastic overhead bars with the foam pads on them, because it presses on my head and gives me headaches after like 2 or 3 hours of wearing them. I much prefer a headset like the one I have now, where
Hold
it's just a strap.
I sent him an invite.
Okay.
Thank you.
I much prefer a headset like the one I have now, where it's just a strap with metal cables in it that just adjusts to my head, so it doesn't press on my head when I'm wearing it.
You can just wire it directly to your head. So I'm a little concerned. There's this little love, connection going on here in the channel, Miss BNR and Frank and Mittens.
I mean, they live in totally different countries, right? So that'd be a little hard to...
I know it's hard to really tell them what they can and can't do. I know.
Yeah, they're all adults.
I don't want either of them to get hurt. Like if Mittens accidentally steps on her chicken, like that could be crushing.
Oh my goodness. Alright. I will be right back while we're waiting on Frank.
All right.
Now, I've used a lot of the cheaper end headsets before too, like especially for computer gaming and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Not a lot of them I've used while I've been streaming, but for gaming purposes, I've used quite a few of them. When it comes to the cheaper ones, like the under $100 range, I like SteelSeries, and I like some of the Razer products. But still, again, I have to have a headset that is not going to have like the hard plastic, the bar that goes over the top of your head, because it just, after 1 or 2 or 3 hours of wearing it, it just gives me headaches that
Lighter's
last
better
all day. And
lighter and comfortable is better. I don't really like wearing cans, but if you're streaming, you're kind of stuck either doing in-ears or cans. And if you do wireless, there's too much of a lag, so you're then stuck doing wired in-ears, and that's those are always in the way.
I do like wearing the over-ear headsets. I'm assuming that's what cans are.
Yeah, just studio headphones are called cans, but they're just headphones, yeah.
Yeah. I like them, especially if they have like noise canceling stuff. I don't know what they do to actually cancel the noise, but it is helpful.
I can explain what they do if you'd like to know.
Sure. I mean,
okay.
It's
so
helpful
basically,
for me because
what happens is they put microphones on the outside of the headset. Those microphones pick up ambient sound waves. They have electronic processing internally that takes that sound, and then it puts it into the ear cup, into the ear diaphragm, headphones, out of phase, 180 degree out of phase with what's on the outside that would be getting into their ear. So when it blends those two together, the headphones basically are moving in opposite, like when the sound wave is pushing against your eardrum, the headphones are pulling against your eardrum the same amount. for all those different frequencies in real time. And that makes zero sound pressure on your ears. Now, you can't do it 100% exactly perfect, but they can pull down the sound volume by 30 dB that way. And they're basically canceling out the sound pressure waves getting into your ear by duplicating them and reversing the polarity of them. It's pretty cool.
I guess for
Artillery strike.
a while there, I was doing a lot of console gaming before I actually got a computer that I could properly game on. I've always been somebody who's gravitated towards computer gaming overall, but when I was console gaming, the headset that I had was a Razer Kraken. And it's a cheap $60 USB headset
that is, but they're in the D line.
that it has a little bit of noise canceling in the form of not necessarily technology, but the foam around the ear cup is supposed to be noise canceling, I guess. And it works to some degree, but not 100%.
So they're just blocking and absorbing in that case. You can also do noise canceling instead of with noise, with sound. You can do it with radio waves or radar. So you can make a radar sensor, put it on your bumper, and when a policeman uses a radar gun and fires a beam at you, you can read that beam and have a emitter and emit back the same beam 180 degrees out of phase, and he will get nothing back on his gun. He'll be invisible. Radar cloaking. It's illegal, but people who know how to build them can build them, and it's not like they, what are they going to do? They're not going to necessarily find you even.
Right. Now, the features that the Razer Krakens that I used to get have, or at least what they're said to have at the moment, if I were to go and try to get one now, 7.1 surround sound, and I don't know if that's like true 7.1 or if that's what you were talking about the other day. 40 millimeter driver. Triforce 40 millimeter drivers. They have bendable hyperclear cardioid mic, hybrid fabric and memory foam ear cushions. They obviously have RGB. They have the volume up and down, microphone on-off toggle, and it's a USB Type A connection. So it's not like the greatest thing ever, but for console gaming, it's perfect. And
Eric, we got people coming up on our
There's an
left.
Annihilator in Echo 7,
Thank you.
Echo 5 behind you.
Even for like computer gaming, when you're not streaming and not doing anything super strenuous, where you have to talk
get
a
rid of
lot,
them.
they work pretty good, and they have
Artillery strike online.
the directional sound in the software actually does at least appear to me, not knowing a whole lot about how sound design works for games and stuff like that. It appears to me like when
We got a sniper across the way too.
at the Razer
Come on, I
software,
can't take all the shots.
it
Come on.
does
Annihilator's
appear
down.
to at least come from the directions it says it does in the software, if it's configured correctly.
Maps a traffic jam.
Artillery
I
strike.
realized that my mic was still muted.
No, there was another
A minute
assault
ago.
here. I don't know where he is.
all the way over.
I was trying to point out the Night Star that was in front of us when we started had a club on his left arm, like a spiked club.
Target
Oh, he
acquired.
did?
Yeah,
Heat level
I was trying to point that out, but I guess I was muted, so nobody heard me.
Uh-oh, shut down. Bad.
Oh, there
Bad,
he
bad,
is.
Yeah,
bad.
The
you
stalker.
shouldn't do that, especially up there.
Yep.
I know. Sit and duck.
Chase
Should I
down
go
the
after
stalker.
this guy? Oops, I'm going after him.
What? I guess you are now.
Yeah, I am.
I'm helping.
Thank you. He got me though. Darn it. Didn't think I was going quite that far. I helped get some kills, but I didn't really get any kills. I haven't figured out the best way to play this map
Another
at all.
course there in Echo 2.
So yeah, we're talking about 7.1 surround in headphones. There's only one or two headphones that actually have the 5 drivers in each ear cup that you need to do full stereo
Oh, there it is.
7.1 channel
Right.
surround. and everybody else uses psychoacoustic EQing and stuff to make the headphones sound like that. Because your ears, you can hear things coming from behind you or above you or below you or within about 5 degrees anywhere around the front of you, up or down. And it's all because your brain does real-time processing of the sound and the phase delay for the directional and the EQ for height and depth and rear. And so you can basically tell where everything is around you that way. And it's pretty phenomenal capability.
Always far, like B4.
So with the experience that I have with already buying USB headsets and stuff like that on the cheap, the brands that I would actually trust are people like SteelSeries and
one of them's
Razer
an urban
Krakens
Mech
that I
with
mentioned
3 light
before.
PPCs.
Not necessarily because they have a super quality sound, but because the software that comes with them and the way that they can be configured is simplistic, easy to understand, and works very well. The problem with the Razer Krakens, and this is the problem I've had with both of the sets that I've owned, and both of them were the $60 sets, is they're flimsy. Like the side, the right side ear cup, just above the bracket where it actually fastens to the ear cup itself on the bar that goes over the top, snapped on my first.
Oh, that's too bad.
Like,
this is amazing to me, but you probably wouldn't want these. Especially if you're hard on headphones and like to break them like you just described, even though they were probably cheap. The place where I'm getting one of these mics from, I know, just giving you a hard time. The place where I'm getting one of these mics from, they sell high-end audio gear, right? And one of the things they sell are headphones. Like Drax bought some Audi's planar headphones, and he likes them, and they're nice. They sound great. Those are the lower tier. They go up to like $1,200 and then $1,600 and then $2,400. They have $4,500 versions of those headphones for a pair of cans.
Yeah, I wouldn't feel comfortable owning that because it would cost more than my entire life.
I know. It's crazy. So, Miss BNR, I'm a little concerned that Mittens is your favorite. Well, that's fine. Everybody gets to have their favorite, and I don't know if Mittens would be my favorite, but maybe he would be. So I'm not going to say he's not.
We're all ready.
And Sniper, you're saying that surely I'm not in that group. Which group? The favorite group? The greeting group or the betrayed group? Betrayer group. Oh, you're talking. Oh, I know what you're talking about now. Not yet, but I'm keeping my eye on you.
Dark, are you jealous that Miss BNR has a favorite that isn't you?
No, I would hope that she has a favorite other than me because I'm happily married and don't want any shenanigans going on. It's enough all these little hearts showing up on my stream. That's pretty disturbing already.
Well, I wasn't going quite there with it, but okay.
Yeah, I'll probably survive. If I could find the heart emote, I'd send another one back, but I can't. That's too difficult.
You know you could just type it.
I know. No, I don't know what the thing is for a heart. What is it?
A little arrow with a 3.
That. Look in the chat. Just
together, really?
Not separated.
Or 3 with a little arrow.
I'll have to send that to Jennifer. I've never sent a heart emote to Jennifer before. I send her mice. Because her nickname
just unleashed a monster.
Her nickname is Squeaker, so I send her like mice.
Oh, okay.
Like that.
Why is the nickname Squeaker then?
Well, that's interesting because Mittens, she
man of the cloth. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, she actually sometimes kind of has a very high little voice if she's trying to, like
just
I'm.
Because
okay.
I'm Burger
man of the claw
because I like hamburgers. I don't. She's Squeaker because she actually sounds very high pitched sometimes when she's talking, and she makes a monkey face too. But I don't know. It's all confusing.
Just
You
because
do
he's
realize-
Thanks for that,
genetically
Mittens.
You do realize that by teaching Dark how to emote, we've just unleashed a monster.
The monster.
Oh, no.
Well, I know there's lots of emotes, but I don't use most of them.
Yeah, but you didn't know how to do them.
No, I know how to do, like, smiley faces. I use those all the time.
You misunderstand what I'm
And
trying to
winkies.
say. You didn't know how to type out specific ones. Now that you know how to do the heart one, you're gonna unleash it on everybody.
Yeah, I'm not. No, maybe. Yeah.
We've been recognized too.
Last night, I sent her a text message saying that if the people that were coming to help clean the gutters showed up, she could wake me up if she needed to, because they might be coming early. And then I said, "I love you, squeaky squeaker," and then I sent her a mouse instead of a heart. So now I can up my game and send a heart. But she probably likes the mouse better.
She's gonna be like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, what happened? You've never hearted me before.
Is that like the bigger the bouquet, the bigger you screwed up kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
What did he do this time?
I'll tell Miss BNR. I'll tell her that you were not the one that taught it to me. How's that?
Well, technically, it wasn't her.
That's right.
It wasn't her at all.
Target spotted.
It was Leisurely Sniper.
Yeah, which is me. So.
Yeah.
You got a light coming behind you, Delta 3. Coming Bravo 4, Bravo 3.
Oh, you have decided that I am not going to bed fast enough for you now, so you're going to get up and walk away?
Ow. Just got shot in the back. Oh,
Bravo
hello.
3, our assault needs help.
Okay.
What do we got behind us?
An assault. C2.
Oh.
And an assault.
Well, guys, I am being voluntold that I need to go to bed by my cats, so I suppose I should go do that.
Target spotted.
That assault in Charlie 2 should be
Target
isolated.
spotted.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he looks isolated.
Getting shot by another one now.
We got a
I'm gonna
sniper
die here in a
behind us.
second.
Is that where the Charlie 2 guy is?
Yep.
All right.
The one that's
Somebody gonna
shooting
take care of
me.
An assault from
Good night,
Spot,
folks.
so, yeah, Charlie 3, Charlie
Good night. See you later.
Spotted.
Hey.
New target acquired.
Enemy assault, Delta 3 low.
Artillery strike online.
Target spotted.
Ow. That Zeus hurts. Oh. There's a lot of people on the other side of the hill.
Yeah, I'm noticing that.
Target spotted.
I think they still have people on
Keep on
the
Jag, one touch CT in the back.
B4, C4, on the other side of the
Heat level
ravine.
critical.
They're gonna rotate into that ditch, so stop rotating and shoot them
You
when they're in
guys
the
have
ditch.
over-rotated already. It's kind of done for.
Target spotted.
Ow.
Target spotted.
Eric, that Zeus is still out there.
Got one.
Target spotted.
Center torso critical damage. Right torso.
There's a flea out there,
critical
too.
damage.
Man, I'm getting hammered.
D3? No, that's D3.
Oh, I'm dead. Darn it. He's
It's gonna
waiting
have to
for
be
me.
my last. This is gonna have to be my last match too.
What time is it? Oh, it's not even that late. No, wow.
I have to go to work in the morning, so.
That's totally cool. I just didn't know how late it was for me. I didn't get much sleep last night, so I
Warhammer one
might
touch
quit early
CT.
anyway.
Target destroyed.
I've got a big day of emoting to do tomorrow,
flea
you know,
coming
on
to you,
text,
Hellbringer.
now that I've got my newfound skill.
And whatever light is over in Delta 3.
Affirmative.
New target acquired.
Hi guys, I'm a medium. I can't be out front.
Center torso critical.
Someone has to be a target.
Target destroyed.
I'm pretty soft and I don't have any armor left, so I'd rather it not be me.
Mixed fish is still pretty fresh. That's good. Where are
it's
you
good.
at? Where are you sniping
I'm pretty
at?
fresh.
Oh,
I'm
you're up
coming
on there.
up
You're not
in the
even
middle.
sniping per se.
I'm completely quartz.
That's my
New target
carcass right there.
acquired.
Probably.
I just gotta climb
nice
this
kill.
fucking hill.
New target acquired.
Bravo.
New target
Almost.
acquired.
They're the last two, right?
Did he
Yep.
kill the cicada?
Yeah.
Shoot up later.
Cool.
Target destroyed.
His name is Barbecue
CP.
Sorcerer.
Barbecue sorcerer. Oh my gosh, we had such. I should tell Drax this. He would appreciate it. We had this some kind of Asian chicken thing that Jennifer
Oh, we're good.
made a sauce for, and I grilled.
Nice
It was
work.
so good. I should give him the recipe for this. He would love this.
You should also tell him that somebody was looking for him.
Miss Pianar's looking to take him out.
What? No. Somebody on the other team.
Oh,
Hey,
he's looking to
shit.
kill him. I
Sorry.
missed that.
Brian. Oh, it's a bunch of
Brian
T2
Ferry?
guys. That's why. Brian Ferry, yeah.
Yeah. Did they? Was it in
Asked
chat?
us
I
where-
missed it.
Yeah, it was in chat.
Oh, I didn't. Did you answer? Because I was not paying attention.
I did, yeah. I just said
Thank
he
you.
had to go.
Okay, cool. Thanks. Well, I did okay. What did McFish do? See, McFish, you're just amazing. 4 kills and over 1,000 damage. Whatever.
Well,
Does your
you did
mother...
change this mech, so you could have beefier arms than you probably do, unless you changed it.
Really? Really?
Yeah.
Will you send me that? I'll try it. Does your mother know how much killing and destruction you do
I'm a
on the
good
battlefield?
boy. I only clean people's mechs. I don't kill them.
Clean them of their pilot area. Put it over in Ghostland Spec Ops, please. And this is the same Hellbringer I already have, the FC? Yep, it is. Ooh, I'm getting excited. Because I already like this mech a lot.
Good night, guys.
Good night, thanks for hanging out.
Yep.
Are these are skills? Or this is the build? Beefy arms upgrade. Copy. But you lose a lot of heat sinks when you lose everything. Is that normal anyway? Beefy arms upgrade. This is for... Above is for the Hellbringer FC. Oh, I got an email today with a premium time code in it. I need to go apply that. All right, here we go. Oh, I like my snow. I wish I could get away with using snow more often. I feel like it's only appropriate during the holiday season. Skirmish or assault? Let's go assault. I wonder if did I take a picture of that food? I don't know if I did. I wonder if Jennifer did. I'll ask her. I have a lot of fan noise in here. I've got a fan running over there. I've got a Drobo drive up here on the desktop that makes a lot of drive whirring noises. Those are the main sources, I think, actually. But it's too noisy. Howdy, everybody.
How's it going? Evening.
Pretty well, thank you. Pretty well. Oh, barbecue saucer's here again. Barbecue saucer, I've just got to know, are you like a great barbecuer?
Yeah, man. I'm a wizard of the grill.
Oh, I'm happy already. Send me a friend request, please, and then feed me.
You got it.
Or just send me recipes.
Also make a main barbecue sauce.
I'm liking barbecue. Right now, I think I'm going to go barbecue me some enemy mechs. Do 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 boom doom. Oh, my arms feel beefier, McFish, already. Some of these, like, valleys are a long drop down, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
How do you get back up? Is there, like, paths back up if you get off the edge really badly?
Yes, you gotta go find that path, but it's a long way up.
And then the match is over by the time you get back.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I was telling Miss BNR that they made this map specifically for her. That's what all the purple color scheme came from. It was a Miss BNR inspired map.
Yeah, okay.
And when she gets in her mechs out here, nobody can find her, so she's basically invisible.
I have the wrong shade of purple, really. It's more like a lavender, really.
Where did McFish go? I should have followed him. Are you down below, McFish?
Just doing a bit of scouting, guys.
No, I try to stay high.
Let's maybe wait to reconsolidate a little.
Are you behind me? Or are you in front of me?
He's everywhere.
I'm in front of most everybody.
He's everywhere. He's always everywhere.
Enemies usually come up the left side, our left
Where
side of
is the
D5.
fish? Oh, there's something going on over there.
Jaguar.
A little flashing.
Over in the far end of E4. Looks like maybe a sun spider as well.
Yeah, saw some ones over there.
God, we've got a Fafnir and 3 dire whales.
On our team?
Just on our team, yeah.
Wow. Look at all the shadows down there.
Artillery strike online.
That's kind of creepy. There's like, they're not on a mountain, just their shadows casting on the side of the valley.
Target spotted.
Oh, there's somebody shooting from over there.
Some sort of assault moving Echo 4.
They're firing an F3 as well.
Target spotted.
Got a Lancet, Echo
All right.
6.
Smitty 889.
Target spotted. Target spotted. Target spotted.
Alright, careful guys, Charger and E4. Yeah, Charger.
Several pushing up through E3, F3.
Heat sink destroyed. Center torso critical damage.
Wow. Where's he hitting me from?
I'm
I see.
isolated, like tier guys. Embarrassing being chased by a charger and a bloody cicada.
Heat level critical.
So we're coming up E3, E4 again.
Night gear behind us.
Oh, thank you guys.
Need assistance.
Saved my ass.
Target destroyed.
Do we get the charger?
Yep, he's gone.
Great.
Target spotted. Target spotted.
That blackjack went down like a sack.
I think I took my
You just
ECM off.
Headshot that Atlas.
Artillery strike online.
Target spotted. Need assistance. Target spotted.
Heat level critical.
India.
Target spotted.
Annihilator CT.
Cat has CT red armor.
Target spotted.
Jesus, this map. They're everywhere and I can't fucking find them.
Artillery
Jesus.
strike online.
They really can surround you.
Target spotted.
Careful that Arctic Wolf, Shadow Hawk.
Target spotted.
Wonder if one's going to come up here and come get me.
Need assistance.
Help.
Where are you, McFish? Are you down below now? Or are you still up high?
Target spotted.
Yeah, I'm down low. I fell down.
Target spotted.
Not really
Yeah,
sure
these
where to go.
canyons make it really easy to get snuck up on.
These are so cool.
Multiple mechs, Echo 3 low.
Need assistance. Target spotted.
Hey, you two dire wolves, can you move?
Target spotted.
Come on. Get out of the way, direwolf.
Target spotted. Need assistance. Affirmative. Target spotted.
Damn it. Walked right into that.
Nice shot on it, though. Took down CT.
Oh, mittens for the kill. The final kill.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
GG. Twin LB20s and 2 LB
Good
gloves.
stuff, guys.
Nice. Thanks for the drop, guys. Don't forget the invite or friend invite, Mr. Barbecue, amazing person to Dark Marauder. Thank you. Thank you. Licking my chops.
You know it.
Yeah, I did okay. We all got a kill. Look at that. Aren't we something? Aren't we something? We're the cats meow. Okay, I'm going to do one more. I should go for longer, but I'm going to try to get some sleep tonight. Don't know what's wrong with me. Hopefully I'll get that. I like that map. It's really interesting. I'm not sure if I'm wild about the color of the plants all being purple. Don't get me wrong, Miss BNR. It's a lot of purple to take in at one time. Good night. Have a great night. Get some sleep. Oh, it's green. I should push the green button.
You should try that.
See what happens. I should ask Jennifer right now if she sent me a picture of that food. So I don't forget. Other night. Okay. There's my social duty for the day. Come on, little matchmaker. Make us a match. Oh, that was a big yawn. Sorry about that. Apologies. Here we go. Is it there? Hellborn Outpost. Yes. I just love how three-dimensional high and low it is and stuff and all the different cover. I think that's great. We needed a map. This is very convoluted, basically, and I think we needed a map like that.
Have you played it in Faction Play?
I've not played Faction Play for over 2 years. So this has been in Faction Play? Yeah. Or is that Hellborn Springs? But it doesn't have all the purple, does it?
No, well, Hellborn Springs is Infection War. This is Outpost, so it's like a multiple snippets of Springs.
Yeah. So yeah, I remember Hellborn Springs, and this looks a little bit like it.
Yeah, it's pretty much like, but this is just a little bit, as you say, convoluted.
Yeah, I like it. I'm sure I won't like it when I get killed over and over and over and over again, but oh well.
Yeah.
Oh, it's too bad we didn't solve all of America's healthcare problems tonight on the stream. I was hoping we'd be able to. All right.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
All right. Dropped here last time. Same exact drop point. It feels like it's pretty big and spacious too. Am I just deceived by all the mountains and ravines and stuff?
Yeah, I think so.
It's really the smallest map ever
Got
made,
many
probably.
layers.
It's pretty good size. Looks like you could have some dastardly battles, lots of different places.
Let's just stay left. None of us know where to go, so just stay left, I guess.
Affirmative.
Hey, just because I'm lost doesn't mean I don't know where to go.
Just stay together. Hug your teammates. It's a buddy system, guys. We don't know what we're doing here. Let's go.
It's time for a snuggle struggle.
Snuggle struggle.
Let's go to the other left.
Low signal, Delta 5.
Target spotted.
Ooh, there's some clouds over there. Ooh, long ramps over there. That's kind of interesting over there, too. I kind of want to go just explore this place. This seems to be a common place that everybody goes. Contact E5, Echo 5. Up high. Little light.
Target spotted.
Contact Echo 4.
Danger
Multiples.
close. They're coming up. Echo 5. What's the team?
Need assistance. Affirmative.
I need to get some space back, I guess.
We got
I don't want to be the
low ground and
first
back,
one
guys.
they meet.
We need to back the fuck up because their whole the big boys are up top here with us. Back up. You're in Delta 5, Hellbringer. That means you. Get back, buddy.
Target spotted.
They wouldn't shoot me, would they?
They definitely would.
They want to kill you.
My mother warned me there were some people out there that might not like me.
Target spotted. Target spotted. Target spotted.
McFish, I'm on your 6. Oh, somebody's
There's a
shooting
big
at
wolf
me.
in front of me behind a hill.
Yeah,
Yeah,
is
we're
he
in the
right
canyon.
to the right?
They're falling down. They're jumping on you. Let's go. Jump
I don't
down
know where
there,
he
guys,
is.
I guess. I don't know what's happening. They're jumping down.
Thanks. Target spotted.
Oh, there he is. Ah. He's better than me. He's better than me. Whoop. I
Little
pulled
flea
most of that.
didn't even see me.
Artillery strike online.
Target spotted. Target
Why'd they
spotted.
go up there and then fall down? Jump down, I wonder.
Just push it. Push it.
Target acquired.
I don't know what that dervish was doing.
Target spotted.
Artillery strike online. Target destroyed.
Target spotted.
Did you get the guy up top? The D5? The little guy?
Critical damage.
Uh-oh.
Target acquired. Target destroyed.
Sorry about the friendly.
You're fine.
Target spotted. Target spotted.
A little bit of leg damage never hurt anyone.
Target acquired.
Great work, guys. Thanks for the drop. Wow, that was kind of raffle stomp. I thought I was going to get a kill out of that, and I did not.
Well, my only kill was the flea. He was running backwards and forwards, shooting one of our guys in the back, and he didn't even see me. He didn't even see me unload multiple alphas.
Well, good for him then. That's good for him. He got what he deserved, and you gave it to him. That's really kind of you. Put him out of our misery. All right, guys, I'm going to go to bed. Thanks for the drops. Thanks for the stream and the chat and the crazy conversation of all the craziness in the world. You guys do have great holiday days coming up here with family and friends and loved ones, and hold them close and send them one of those heart emotes if you get a chance. I'm going to try to do that. You should too. Good night, everybody. Night, McFish. Night, Mitt.